Paul Greengrass is back, this time taking on the genre of Western movies, which is something very different from the last movie he made, 22 July. Now I did review that, but I don't quite remember a whole lot about it. Just that it was overshadowed by the Norwegian movie that tackled the same subject matter. But I do remember liking it to some extent, which was also the case with Captain Phillips. That, like this one, also happens to star Tom Hanks. But again, this is a very different movie. And it's a surprisingly quaint movie, if you can call it that, about a Civil War veteran in Texas, whose job it is to travel around all these small towns and literally read them the news. And on his travels he sort of runs into this young girl who needs his help. And what we end up is a kind of a road trip movie, I guess you could say, with a horse and carriage. And we follow these two as they embark on a rather long and perilous journey. That's the basic gist of it, I guess, and the movie is essentially about their budding relationship. And along the way they face all sorts of challenges and perhaps even grow to like each other. And you know, there really isn't that much more to this movie, to be honest. We of course get to know these characters a lot more as we go along. We learn about their backstories and motivations and what makes them tick and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's a pretty simple and straightforward movie. One that absolutely works, but it didn't really achieve anything remarkable. I mean, there are some really nice looking wide shots here and there, and the filmmaking overall is solid too. I thought the production design was really good, and in general the performances were good as well. And if I had one actual complaint, it would be that there were some CGI and green screen effects that simply weren't up to par. Either they ran out of budget or they hired some incompetent people. But yeah, there were a few moments that looked really bad actually. However, that's genuinely my only real complaint about this one, and it isn't a huge issue at the end of the day. Helena Zengel, who played the girl, was also good, although I knew to expect that, because I saw her in a very good German movie called System Crasher. And based on that I can see why they cast her in this, because this girl is also kinda wild. And she fit the role perfectly, but at the same time, if you've seen System Crasher, you're not gonna be blown away by this one, because she's just so great in that one. And I don't know, I enjoyed this movie, but at the same time, it didn't really do anything special. And I have a hard time imagining this one sticking with me for a long time. And as a result, I think I'm gonna give this one a solid 6. Boop. Because it is still very decent, but I wouldn't call it a must-see or anything. But I also wouldn't tell you not to watch it either. So you know, maybe check it out, or don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic.